ठीक है, because I've started a little late. Okay, so very good morning to everyone. So today today I'll be starting with the same topic, that is on antihypertensive agents. But then there are so many classifications of antihypertensive agents. So we have done about the ECE inhibitors, and also I have also taught you about the alpha adrenergic blockers. Okay, so these are the two classifications of antihypertensive agents. So today we'll start another classification that is called as angiotensin 2 receptor blockers. Okay, so uh, short form we call it as ARB. Okay, ARB, whenever you say ARB, you remember it is angiotensin 2 receptor blockers. So basically we are blocking these medicines. What do? They block the angiotensin 2 receptors. Okay, so let us see the definition. ARB or angiotensin 2 receptor blockers, they are antihypertensive agents. That is, they reduce the blood pressure, that exert their action by blocking the vasoconstriction and release of aldosterone through the selective blocking of angiotensin 2 receptors in the vascular smooth muscles and adrenal cortex. So these ARB, okay, what do? They try to block the vasoconstriction, because we know that if the blood vessels they constrict, if there is vasoconstriction, तो pressure ज़्यादा हो जाएगा and the blood pressure will be increased. So their action, the main action is to block the vasoconstriction and the release of aldosterone through the selective blocking of angiotensin 2 receptors. Okay, so our main goal here is to block the receptors. Okay, that is why there will be vasoconstriction, okay, and there will be release of aldosterone also through the selective blocking. Okay, so some aldosterone levels will be released. ये नहीं कि पूरा aldosterone level block हो जाएगा, but then a little bit of aldosterone will be released, okay, in the vascular smooth muscles and adrenal cortex. So the main action is to block the blood pressure, okay, is to block the vasoconstriction. That is the main action, raising the effect of renin angiotensin aldosterone system. Okay, so have you heard about RAS, renin angiotensin aldosterone system? कभी सुना है? Have you done in medicine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this basically this RAS, what does it do? It is a hormone system. Okay, it helps in maintaining or balancing the blood pressure, and it also helps in maintaining the fluid balance, the electrolyte fluid balance. Okay, so there are three hormones that are responsible in RAS. One is the, you can see one is the renin. Okay, one is the renin hormone. The other is angiotensin 2 and the other is aldosterone. Okay, so these are very important, three important hormones. Okay, and this hormone system, RAS system, it is very important in maintaining the blood pressure. Okay, so that is why angiotensin 2, you can see here, one of the hormone is angiotensin 2. Okay, so this agent, you can say ARB agent, the main action is to block the vasoconstriction, that is to block the blood pressure from raising up and up. Okay, it is not it will not allow the blood pressure to increase more and more. Okay, so that is the main action. Then a very important medicine here, that medicine of angiotensin 2 receptor blocker is losartan. Okay, losartan is a generic name, losartan potassium, but the brand name comes with the name that is Cozar. Okay, that is a trade name. What is the action? The angiotensin 2 receptor antagonist, it acts as a potent vasoconstrictor and primary vasoactive hormone of the renin angiotensin aldosterone system. Okay, so we know that RAS is very important for our blood pressure maintenance. Okay, and if there is vasoconstriction, then there will be increase in blood pressure. So our main action or our main goal here is to block the vasoconstrictor. Okay, हमें block करना है so that the blood pressure uh, will not go beyond the normal level. Okay, so this is the action of losartan. Then coming to the indication, when we give losartan, we give it in hypertension. Okay, when the patient's blood pressure is beyond the normal level. So how much dose we shall give to the patient? 50 mg once in a day. Okay, 50 mg OD. We can increase it up to 100 mg daily as a single dose, or we can give in two divided doses. Matlab, we can give 50 mg in morning and we can give 50 mg in evening. So our dose is 50 mg. Okay, so our dose is 50 mg once in a day. But if the patient's condition is very critical, then we can increase it up to 100 mg daily. We can give in a single dose or we can give in a double dose. What is a contraindication? Contraindication, one is pregnancy and the other is lactation. Okay. Then what are the side effects of losartan or side effects of ARB? One is a headache, dizziness, patient can have back pain, patient can have myalgia. Myalgia is pain in the muscles, fatigue, rashes हो सकता है, neutropenia, hyperkalemia and impaired renal function. Okay, so these are the side effects of losartan medicine. Is this clear? किसी को doubt है with ARB, angiotensin 2 receptor blockers? Okay, so let's move on to the next, that is the nursing consideration. So if we are giving the medicines of angiotensin 2 receptor blockers, then we have to monitor the blood pressure, okay, when we are giving the medicine, before giving the medicine and also after giving the medicine. Then monitor the drug effectiveness. You have to check whether the medicine is effective or not in the patient, whether the blood pressure has decreased or not. Then inadequate response may be improved by splitting the daily dose into twice daily dose. So we can increase the dose up to 100 mg, okay, in a day you can say 100 mg OD, or we can divide it into two doses, okay, 50 mg in the morning and 50 mg in the evening. Then we have to perform some tests like CBC test, electrolyte. We have to check the electrolytes. We can do the kidney function test. We can do the liver function test, and if patient is on a long-term therapy, matlab if patient is taking for a long term for many months, then we have to perform the various tests. Okay, so this is about the nursing responsibility while giving angiotensin 2 receptor blocker. Then next classification is a calcium channel blocker. So this also I have done in the previous class. Okay, so let us see what the calcium channel blockers. They are the antihypertensive agents. They decrease the blood pressure. Not only that, the cardiac workload also, and the myocardial consumption of oxygen. So it decreases three things. It decreases the blood pressure, it decreases the cardiac workload, and it decreases the myocardial consumption of oxygen. So that there will be no high demand, okay, of oxygen by the heart. Then the action is these drugs, they inhibit or they stop the movement of calcium ions across the myocardial and arterial muscle cell membranes. Okay, so these calcium channel blockers, okay, by the word only you can see that blocking the calcium movement, okay, calcium channel blockers. So by this word only you can understand that these medicines, what do? They will block the movement of calcium ions, Okay, it will not allow the calcium ions to move across the myocardial muscles and the arterial muscle cell membranes. Okay, so that is how they are decreasing the cardiac workload also, and decreasing the myocardial consumption of oxygen. What is the indication? They can be used alone for the treatment of hypertension or in combination with other agents. So it can be monotherapy or it can be dietherapy. So calcium channel blockers we can give uh, if patient is suffering from hypertension, then we can give only calcium channel blockers, or we can give calcium channel blockers with other medicines also. It can be calcium channel blockers with ARB, it can be calcium channel blockers with ECE inhibitors. Okay, so we can give in combination also, depending upon the patient's condition. What are the contraindication? Patient can have allergies, patient can have heart block, renal and hepatic impairment. So the kidneys and the kidneys and the liver can be affected, and we have to be very careful while giving in pregnant women and lactation women. So this is about calcium channel blockers. Then coming to the side effects, the adverse effects, sorry. One is according to the system wise, that is the central nervous system. Patient can have headache, patient can have dizziness, lightheadedness, fatigue. Okay, so it is better if we give the dose, uh, in a small dose, not in a very heavy dose, because if we are giving high dose to the patient, patient can have dizziness, can have lightheadedness, patient can faint. Okay, then cardiovascular system, patient can have hypotension where the blood pressure drops down. Okay, beyond the normal level, it will really go down. Then patient can have hypotension. That is why patient will have dizziness. They will feel very weak. Bradycardia, where their pulse rate is very low. Patient can have peripheral edema, swelling over the lower the extremities. Then heart block, GI. According to the gastrointestinal system, patient can have nausea, uh, hepatic injury, liver, any damage to the liver. According to the system ENT, that is according to the eyes, the ears, nose, and throat, patient can have rashes and skin flushing. Okay, so these are the adverse effects of uh, of calcium channel blockers. So the nursing consideration here is we have to make sure we have to check for the side effects. Okay, we have to check for the side effects if patient is having any of these following. Then if patient is having, then you have to be very careful when you're giving to pregnant women and also to uh, women who are lactating, who are breastfeeding. Then monitor the cardiopulmonary status. We have to check their vital signs. Okay, because patient can have bradycardia. Okay, their pulse rate will go down, their blood pressure can go down. Okay, so we have to check their vital signs. Is this clear with channel blockers, calcium channel blockers? Anybody has any doubt? Students?
मैम क्लियर है.
Okay. So next coming to the vasodilators. Okay, so vasodilators, the direct vasodilator. Dilators मतलब किसी को dilate करना है ना? So we know in hypertension, okay, there is vasoconstriction. ठीक है? Vasoconstriction means our blood vessels are constricting. Okay, our blood vessels are constricting. Because of that, there is congestion, there is the pressure inside the blood vessels will increase, and therefore patient will have blood pressure, will have hypertension of or high blood pressure. So vasodilators का मतलब है blood vessels को dilate करना. ठीक है, उसको थोड़ा dilate करना है, थोड़ा spread करना है. So vasodilators, they are used when the previous drugs mentioned are not effective. So if uh, like EC inhibitors are not effective, or calcium channel blockers are not effective to the patient, then we can give the vasodilators. These antihypertensive agents are reserved for severe hypertension and hypertensive emergency. So vasodilators are only given in case of severe condition of a critical condition of the patient with hypertension. Okay, if patient is getting ERB or patient is getting EC inhibitors and they are not effective, okay, their blood pressure is not going down, okay, so we can switch to vasodilators. The action is these antihypertensive agent, they will exert their effect by acting directly on the smooth muscles. Okay, so these agents, what do? They will directly act on the smooth muscles. Okay, and they will try to cause vasodilation. A very important medicine of vasodilator is hydralazine. Okay, hydralazine medicine or hydralazine drug. The action is it is a direct acting vasodilator. It acts predominantly on the arterioles. Okay, it directly acts on the arteries. Then it reduces the blood pressure and resistance, but it reduces fluid retention. Okay, so our main goal here is to reduce the blood pressure. Then what is the indication of hydralazine or you can say vasodilator? Number one, we give it, obviously I told you that we only give in case of extreme hypertension or when the patient's condition is very critical. Okay, when the blood pressure is very high, extremely high. Okay, and it is co-management uh, is not effective for this patient. Okay, so then we have to switch to vasodilator. So vasodilators comes in oral form and intravenous form also, IV also, and tablet form also. So oral hypertension, what is the dose? 40 to 50 mg daily in divided doses, and we can increase according to the dose. Okay, so increase the dose also according to the patient's condition. Then IV, we are giving in hypertensive crisis 5 to 10 mg via slow IV injection. So we need to give only 5 to 10 mg. Okay, and we have to give very slow. Okay, slow IV injection. And we can repeat this if necessary after 20 to 30 minutes. So after giving hydralazine injection, okay, we have to we have to monitor the patient, check the blood pressure continuously. Then we have to wait for 20-30 to half an hour. Okay, and we have to check if patient's blood pressure is not decreasing, then we can repeat it. Okay, so it comes in oral form also, and it comes in intravenous form, IV form also. What are the contraindication when we should not give if patient is having severe tachycardia? Okay, when their pulse, when their heart rate is very high. Then if patient is having heart failure with high cardiac output, then if patient is having core pulmonale and coronary artery disease. So these are the contraindications for injection hydralazine, which is a vasodilator. Then what are the side effects? Patient can have tachycardia, palpitations, angina pain, chest pain, hemolytic anemia, paralytic ileus. Patient can have headache, flushes all over their face, nasal congestions, nose block, peripheral neuropathy, fluid retention, and postural hypotension. Okay, so these are the side effects of injection hydralazine, which is a vasodilator. Then coming to beta blockers. Okay, I think I have done beta blockers also in the previous classes when I did on neurological medicine used for neurological disorders. Okay, so I will, you know, I will just go through, okay, because I've already done with this topic. So beta blockers are also referred to as beta adrenergic antagonists. They're a class of medication that are used to manage abnormal heart rhythm and in heart attack. Okay, so beta blockers, they are medicines which are which are helpful to manage the abnormal heart rhythm. Okay, when our heart rhythm is not regular, it is irregular, and if patient is having heart attack, then we can give beta blockers. Okay, beta blockers का दूसरा नाम क्या है? Beta adrenergic antagonist. Okay, so they are particularly used to treat high blood pressure. What are the indication? Okay, we can give if patient is having abnormal heart rhythm, that is cardiac arrhythmias. If patient is having heart failure, okay, where the heart is not able to pump enough of oxygenated blood, then patient is having coronary artery disease when there is a plaque formation in the coronary arteries and it is blocking the blood flow. Okay, then if patient is having heart attack, post heart attack, and hypertension. Okay, so our beta blockers, our main goal here is to decrease the blood pressure. Okay, to treat the high blood pressure, to treat hypertension. Then what are the contraindications when we should not give beta blockers? If patient is having asthma, patient is having heart block, if patient is having COPD, that is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, then if patient is having diabetes mellitus and hyperkalemia, okay, which is an electrolyte disorder. Okay, so these are the contraindications. So you can see here A, B, C, D, E. So it is noted down in in alphabetical order. Okay, so you can remember this like to remember the contraindications. You can remember A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Then what are the side effects of beta blockers? First of all, it is patient can have dizziness, weakness, drowsiness, feeling very, very sleepy. Patient can have cold hands, cold feet. Patient have dry mouth, headache, upset of the stomach. Okay, patient can have abdominal pain also, diarrhea, constipation. Okay, so these are the main side effects. Less common side effects includes depression, which are these side effects are very less commonly found. Okay, it is not very common. So patient can have depression also, shortness of breath, wheezing, erectile dysfunction, sore throat, joint pain, skin rashes, and insomnia, or call it as trouble sleep, where the patient is not able to sleep properly. Okay, so these are the main side effects. Okay, where after giving beta blockers, patient can have the main side effects, and also there are some less side effects that are not commonly found in the patient after taking beta blockers. Okay, so that was about beta blockers. Then coming to diuretics, this also I have taught you. Okay, so just a brief information about diuretics, just to remember, just to try to remember you all that what are diuretics. These are medicines that are used to treat high blood pressure. Okay, so there are many classifications of diuretics, okay, like thiazide, loop diuretic, potassium sparing diuretic, osmotic diuretic, and carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. These are the classification of diuretics. Then there are different types of diuretic, but the type most commonly used to treat high blood pressure is the thiazide diuretics. Okay, so thiazide diuretics, one of the classification of diuretic, these are commonly used to treat high blood pressure, to treat hypertension. Okay, so that we have done with diuretics. And the last is the renin inhibitors. Okay, renin, we know I've taught you renin hormone. Okay, so renin inhibitors means the medicines which are trying to stop the action of renin hormone. ठीक है, उसको रोकना है renin को. We are not allowing the renin to be produced. Okay, so these are called renin inhibitors. Inhibitors का मतलब है किसी को block करना. ठीक है. So renin inhibitors are a group of pharmaceutical drugs which are used in the treatment of hypertension, that is high blood pressure. These drugs, they stop or they block the first and rate limiting step of the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. So renin inhibitors are medicines that will stop or they will block renin. Renin is the first step in RAS system. Okay, the renin-angiotensin to aldosterone system. Okay, so the starting phase is the renin. ठीक है, पहले renin produced होता है, फिर उसके बाद it will then angiotensin will be produced. ठीक है, so we are trying to stop the renin here. ठीक है, उसको we are not allowing the renin to be produced, उसको block करते हैं. ठीक है, so these are the medicines that will block the first step of the RAS, that will block the production of renin. Okay, namely the conversion of angiotensinogen to angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Okay, so renin is a hormone. It is responsible for converting angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Okay, then angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2. Okay, so we have to block renin. Okay, we need to block renin. Okay, so that the RAS system will not continue. Okay, we will not allow the RAS system to take place. So we have to block the renin. Okay, so if we are blocking the renin hormone, then angiotensinogen is not converted to angiotensin 1. Okay, ye रोक देते हैं. So our blood pressure will be maintained. Okay, so these are called as renin inhibitors. A very common medicine is aliskiren. Okay, aliskiren is a generic name. The brand name is called Rasilis. The action is inhibition or stopping or blocking of renin results in decreased formation of angiotensin 2, which is a powerful vasoconstrictor. Okay, so our main goal, renin inhibitor, our main goal is to stop renin. Okay, we are not allowing renin to produce. Okay, so if renin is not produced, then angiotensin 2 also will be decreased. It will not produce. So we know angiotensin 2 is a vasoconstrictor. So it helps the blood vessels to constrict. फिर उसके बाद क्या होता है? Blood pressure increase हो रहा है. So we don't want our blood pressure to increase. We don't want angiotensin 2 to function. So we need to block renin. Okay, so these are called, the medicines which we give to block the renin is called renin inhibitor. Then what is the indication? We will give in hypertension. Contraindication if patient is very sensitive to the medicine, lactation mothers and pregnant ladies. Then side effects, patient can have cough, hypotension, diarrhea, dyspepsia and abdominal pain. Then the responsibilities, nursing responsibilities, we have to monitor the blood pressure, monitor the pulse. Okay, we have to monitor, generally we have to monitor the vital signs, put the patient in cardiac monitor, then monitor the frequency of prescription refill to determine the adherence. So we have to check for the prescription of the doctor. We have to check for the medication orders, if we want to continue the medicine or not. What is the dose we have to give to the patient? Okay, what is the route? All these we have to follow the medication orders. Okay, so is this clear with everyone regarding the topics for today? So I have done renin inhibitors. Okay, so I have also done about diuretics. We have already done diuretics in detailed form, so I am not repeating. Then we also did about beta blockers. Even this topic also I have completed in the last class. Then vasodilators. Okay, then I've also done about calcium channel blockers. And also the ARB, the angiotensin 2 receptor blockers. Okay, so is this clear with the topics for today? Anybody has any doubts?